welcome to Holistic at Home. I am the Holistic Homemaker, and I am coming to you with a quick craft and chat. Sorry, my husband just texted me. I'm coming to you with a quick craft and chat and an unveiling, which we've never done before. So you guys saw me do some crafts the other day, and I am going to show you the results. So, like I told you, I needed Fancy in my life, and Fancy came through like I knew she would. Again, Fancy is from KKG. You can also find a pigment similar to the one that I used on KKG. It is called Raspberry Beret. Okay, so here is my pop socket that I made. And I wanted to tell you this first because I got a figures phone. That was my anniversary present from my husband because he's amazing. And I've been wanting a figures phone. And so that's what he got me. And the thing about this was, because I'm all about a cute case. But look at how beautiful this phone is. So I couldn't cover the phone, right? Whose phone? Like, what? What? So I can't get a case that covers this, right? So it comes with a clear case, but that's kind of boring. But look at how cute this is together. So I'm very excited about that. Fancy came through in a way that I never thought she would, because I wasn't even, like I told you, I don't waste epoxy. So I just had this mold sitting on the side just in case I had some extras. Okay, so that's my pop socket with Fancy, and you can find this pigment, Raspberry Beret, also on KKG. Okay, so next is the coasters. I'm very excited about this. Again, this is Fancy and Raspberry Beret, and I have my silver marker here just in case I want to gild the edges. I'm not sure if I'm going to do that, and this is just a napkin with some alcohol on it. And I have, well, you can't see it, but I was going to say I have a cup of water over here because I thought you could see it. Because we're going to do some hydro dipping today. We haven't done that on our page or on this channel. And I love hydro dipping with the marbling inks. Those can also be found on KKG. I love hydro dipping. I just love it. And I do it with my children. So it's a fun thing to do with your children for an art project or, you know, just whatever. Just let them have fun. So here we go. I'm going to turn you back down so you can see. Let's see. I'm knocking my stuff over. Okay, so you'll be able to see as they come out. Let's see. There we go. Okay, so here's, I think I'm going to save this one for last. Because this is the one that, oh, and I'm going to show you a little tip about this one. Because I have a heavy hand when pouring. So I think I'm going to do this one last. But I love all of them, so let's just see what we have. Okay, come on out. Okay, and these are geodes again, so that little piece in the middle. Okay, so here is the side that was face down, and here's the face up side. I think I prefer face up. This one, this side is a little flat, because that's where, you know, the things sank. But, you know, this little floaty bits up here. And I love the depth that, you know, there's not much glitter up here, but you could see it down below. So that's the first one. I don't know. I have to do this one last. No, I have to do this one last so I can show you how to fix it. Okay, I really love this one too, though. I was really excited to make this set because I've never done a set where they're not all like pretty much exactly the same thing. So here's the face down side. A lot of the glitter sank to the bottom. And here's the face up side. And again, I think I prefer the face up side. Although, I love Fancy and I love how she came through. But I love that, again, the depth. Like, you can't see. There's not a ton of glitter up here, but you could see to the glitter that's below it. And I'm going to have to fix this one, too. So I'm going to have to show you how I do that. Okay, and here is the almost 100% Fancy. So, all Fancy, right? Oh, I love this. I should have just made coasters with just Fancy. Okay, so that's Fancy, and then you could see a bit of the pigment, the pigmented epoxy, like in the spaces where you can't really see Fancy. So that's the epoxy there. And I did a flood coat. I was meaning to tell you guys that. I love this coaster. This one, that is so pretty. Like that, doesn't that make you feel like a party? I love Fancy. Okay, and here is the last one, and I saved this one for last because I had a really heavy hand pouring the flood coat. So I have this little lip thingy. Okay, and so the bottom is like all Fancy except this. And the top is kind of, I don't know, a good mix of the two, I guess. So you could see fancy really well through to the bottom, and then you could see the epoxy, or the pigmented epoxy on the top. And this is the one where I did the thing where I poured the pigment on top of fancy. So some of fancy floated to the top, some of it stayed down. I think I prefer this side. I don't know though, because it looks a lot like this side. I don't know. I love both sides. All right, so the way I fix this, what do I feel like? Okay, so I'm gonna put my mold to the side. Okay, I have cuticle clippers. So I'll just follow along the line, and sometimes it takes a while. And sometimes, depending on the mold, if your epoxy is hard, sometimes it'll break off in bigger pieces and break off more cleanly. So sometimes it's easier to wait until your epoxy is like fully cured and hard. Mine is not. See, it's bendy. It's bendy. So, oh my gosh. This is not my first time doing this, guys. I promise. I don't know how I came up with this idea. I just figured if it worked for your cuticles at the shop, it would work for this. And it does. It works well. But it's a little, it's not tedious depending on the size. Usually I don't have this much overhang. I don't know that I've ever been this heavy-handed in pouring, but it was also my first time pouring in that mold. And I was pouring at night, so I was tired. And it was a little dark. Okay. So this is how I cut off my extra pieces. Just with cuticle clippers. I guess you could use scissors, but this gives you more control over how much you do. So if I had my scissors near me, which I do not, I would probably cut it closer so I didn't have to keep cutting down to get, further along as I went. But I do not, and I'm not going to get up right now to go get them because that would be a weird thing to do in this video. Okay, so I'll do a little bit more and let you see the progress. I don't know if I'm going to do all of this on the same. But see, and then you could just sand this part down, and they'll never know. So this is my set, and I'll show you the sides that I prefer as the set. See, and I don't know if I'm going to do that side because it looks so similar to this side. What am I going to do with my life? So if I do this side, then I'll do this side because I love this side too. I don't know what I'm going to do, guys. Okay, so these are my coasters. Should I do that side? No, I have to do this side. I much prefer this side over this side. This side just looks really flat to me. So this side is a definite. I feel like I have to do this side because this side looks so similar to this side, except it's opposite. So it's, pigment on the outside, glitter on the inside. So I might go with that because these are very similar. So that is my mismatch coaster set. I think I put in the description of my last video, the video where I made these, asking if you guys say mix and match. Because isn't that what it's... So I've heard that it's supposed to be mix and match or mist match. So I've heard it both ways. I grew up, I never said mist match or mix and match. We always said mitch match, which, that just is what it is, whether that's right or not. That's what it was in our house, mitch match. So feel free to share. Are you mix and match, mist match, or are you mitch match? I'm team mitch match. And these are my mitch match coasters. And then you could just, again, like I said, after you clip, you can go ahead and sand that down. Okay. I feel like a lot of people are saying that since the quarantine, well, I guess, the quarantine, whether it's self-quarantining or you are mandated to quarantine or whatever, but they've been doing more crafting stuff, and I do not feel like that is the case.
Great chocolate milk. Who's into
Houston, you're about to get in trouble. Close the door, please, Bubba. Okay, so I'm almost done. I'm glad I kept going because, like I said, I don't feel like I've been crafting more since this was quarantine. I feel like I've been crafting less. I feel like I'm more busy with the boys. And I'm not sure why that is. Or maybe it's just I've just taken less time to do it. I don't know, but for the past couple of weeks, I told you that the other night was my first pour in a couple of weeks. So look. So now I just have to sand this part. And you will never know that that happened. So I'm going to be honest with you because these coasters are for me. So I don't know if I'm going to sand them. I don't care about that. And I'm going to gild it anyway, probably. I don't know. I think it would look really cool with this around it. So you can use, there's acrylic paint markers. There are different kinds of paint markers that you can use to gild your edges. I'm just trying to figure out if I want to do that. I don't know. But what we're going to do anyway is proceed. I thought I brought my keychain here. Oh, I guess I did not. So there's that. Okay, so what we're going to do next is, with the extra epoxy from the flood coat I made last night. Oh, I did. So with the extra epoxy, so this was from the other night whenever I made the coasters. This was the rest of my raspberry beret pigmented epoxy. And with the extra epoxy from the flood coat, I just made a clear mold because I have never hydro dipped one of these, and I thought it would be a lot of fun to try that. So that's what we're gonna do now. Okay, like I told you, I love hydro dipping. Okay, and I don't know, I had a whole box of gloves. I do not know what happened to them, and I am not leaving the house for gloves because they are not medically necessary in my home. So I have this, and this is what I'll be using. So for hydro dipping, you need water, hydro, okay, duh. And then you need whatever marbling pigments, whatever that you have, right? You also need a stick to drag or swirl your marbling paints. I use gloves because I do not want to dye my fingers, and you need whatever you're going to dip. So I will be dipping in this video. I'll be dipping this cute little Minnie Mouse keychain, as well as this pop socket, badge reel, whatever you want to use this for, cover thing. Okay, so I feel like I always use the same colors when I hydro dip. I always use turquoise, gold, silver, blue, and I don't know if I'm going to stick with that, but those are my favorite. Okay, if I was live, I would ask you guys what I should do, but since I'm not. Okay, so I have this, and I don't necessarily have to make it match my coasters, but in my spirit, I want to. So that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to do turquoise, like I always do. So I always use some clear, because that breaks up the, if I can find it, that breaks up the pattern. So it's not just like a full pattern, so then you have some open space to see, what are those children doing? So you have some open space to see the pigment. And I'm just going to wipe this down a little bit because I keep getting fingerprints on it. And again, this is just my paper towel with alcohol on it. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. Okay, so I think I am going to make it match fancy. So I'm going to do some red. And we already have the pink. That's the turquoise, pink, red. And I think I'm going to do gold. Okay, and gold. Okay, so I'm going to turn you down and get started. I hope you guys try this. Again, these can also be found on KKG. So I start with the color that I want the most. And you guys know I love turquoise. You've been here long enough to know that. So, turquoise it is. We're starting with turquoise. And like I said, this is something that's super easy and super fun. Your children, I should say, can definitely do this. My boys love, I think this one is drying out a little bit. My boys love hydro dipping. Oh, come on. There we go. Oh my gosh. Okay. Come on, come on, come on. There we go. Okay. So you just put it in there. Like I said, I don't know that the order necessarily matters, but I go with the one that I want the most of. And I don't know how I feel about that red being in there, but it's in there, and we're going to keep going. So you could take it out at this point, but that would be a waste of the, and I don't know if you could see. I should have looked up before now. I need a computer. Help, Holy Ghost. Okay, now I have to log back in. Sorry, guys. That didn't just happen. And I just put in the wrong password. Sorry, guys. Okay, I turned you down too far, and my computer said, no, ma'am, and it closed. Okay, so all I did was just add the clear. I think you saw every color that I added. I don't think you missed out any of that. So now I'm just going to swirl it so I don't have too much of any one color anywhere, and I feel like that looks pretty. And then once you like your pattern, you can connect it to the side. So you see how I drew it up on the side? So now it's not really floating in the water. Well, it's floating in the water, but it's not floating around, moving. It's pretty well suspended. And I'm going to draw that out. I personally, because I am who I am, and I love who I am, I like big patches of gold, and some people don't want that. But this mold I don't know if this is considered a cabochon or not. But this keychain, well, I guess it's not a cabochon, it's a keychain, duh. So this keychain isn't very big. So, like, all of this isn't going on there anyway. So, I'm going to put on my glove. Oh my gosh, it's the wrong hand. You know what? This just is what it is. I'm not dipping with my left hand. So, forgive the backwardsness of my glove. Okay. So then you just hold. I try to hold as little of my surface area as possible because I want to get as much of the pattern on there as I can. And this is so much easier with regular gloves, but I can't find my gloves, and I'm not buying them right now. Okay, so then you just take it, and like I said, I try to hold as little of my surface area as possible. I'm going to have to. Okay, that seems better. Okay, all right, and then you just dip it and go forward, dip it all the way in, and pat it off. Sometimes you get clumps. Put this little clip off. Yeah. And I'm gonna spray seal this with some clear sealer. And this is what we have. I think that's so fun. I love it. Okay, so this is what we have for our keychain. I really like that. That's very original. And I'm all about being original. Okay, so I'm going to take my backwards glove off again. And I'm really excited about this one. So I don't know what colors I'm going to do. I'm going to clear this. We'll clear it out. I'm going to get all of the extra stuff out of here. You can take a piece of paper or a piece of cardboard and kind of sweep it to the side. I'm going to use this. This was on the table. This is what's going to be used. This is the insert for one of my kids' games. Okay, so I'm just going to get all of the ink that is floating in there and get it off. So now instead of floating in my water, it is on this paper. Because I just have one thing left to do. Okay, so now I'm going to do this one. And I'm really going to try to do colors that I don't normally do. I can almost guarantee you I'm going to use metallics. I always use metallics. So gold will probably stay out. Maybe lavender? Okay, I've come up with it. I'm going to do lavender. Shake it up a little bit. This is aqua green. Oh, let me show you lavender. Aqua green. Gold. I might have to use my new one because I don't know if this one is just old and dried out because it's like, oh, there we go. It's giving me a bit of the blues right now. And then watch whenever it's time to drop it in there, it's going to be messing around. Am I running low on clear? Okay. That's fine, but I have an extra. Okay, so again, I'm going to start with, I don't know if I'm going to start with lavender or aqua green. Whatever, I'll start with lavender. Okay, so just drop it around. Not a lot, so you can see that. And you can use this. I've done this for coasters. I've done this. And you could just do this with anything, and I'm sure that would make it. It would make it better. But I'm a little biased because I love this. Okay, come on, there we go. Come on, there we go. Trying to get a big. Okay. Okay. I don't know why my gold is being so bothersome. Okay. Now I'm gonna go. Oh, I forgot to do my clear, so I can have some spaces. So I can have some spaces that don't have it, and you could just see how the piece is clear. Okay, so there's that. Okay, and I'm gonna swirl this around. I don't think I put enough clear in there, but I'm fine with that. I'm gonna swirl this around some more. I think that's gonna come out so pretty. I want some gold in the center though. Okay, I don't know if you can see that. Okay, I'm really excited about this, guys. So, my backwards glove goes back on. I really did try to find my gloves for you because I had about like a third of a box left. Okay, and I'm going to take, okay, this is dry so it won't stick on here. I don't want my things to be, I was gonna say, I don't want it to be mismatched, so it's just like red and turquoise, and then whatever colors I have in here. And then, 1, 2, ready, set, dip. Guys, look how pretty! Okay, so again, I'm going to dab off whatever blobs we have. Let me take this off. I want my other colors to come off. Then I'm going to spray, again, I'm going to spray this with a sealer. Okay. Let's see if you can see. If you can see it. Okay. There we go. So we have a pretty good marbled pattern. I think I dabbed off a little too much because the pattern looks a little like smudged. But you can take it off with alcohol, I think. There we go. Much better. Except now the turquoise is up there. And I am doing this barehanded without that glove on because I feel like that's helping it smudge. Let me see if I get a little extra in here. Okay, that's so much better. There we go. That's a much more clearly marbled pattern. So I'm gonna leave that alone so I don't mess it up again. I'm going to put it down on the glove so I know that it doesn't. No, I'm not. I'm gonna put it down on this paper because with my blood coat yesterday, I made some earrings. So, I had a really heavy hand with these too because I didn't have the patience to like ease it in there and I already had whatever. So, I'm going to make these little things. These little earrings, these little things. Okay, so I love these. I actually have a pair of these that I made. And I love them, and I'm going to make another pair in a different color, hopefully. I tend to stick with what I love, and that leads me to have a lot of similar things and colors. Okay, so I think I'm going to do it without gloves, because I just need We'll see. Ooh, maybe I could dip it with this. I just dip it in there. That's what I'm going to do. See, I hope you are still in the video at 25 minutes because that was a brilliant idea. Okay, so I'm going to use black, gold, and silver. That is what I have decided upon. Black. Gold. So if you guys have done hydro dipping, please share with me what you've done. I would love to see it. Add it to the Facebook group. Also, the Facebook group is not just for me, guys. Well, for me to talk. I would love for you guys to share your arts and crafts, your homeschool stories, whatever you have to share. I'm already the one doing all the talking over here, so I love to talk, but I also love conversation, so you guys can talk back. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and swirl this. Although, I do really kind of like this pattern. I think I'm going to do it. I'm just going to go with it. We'll see. And again, you guys saw how easy it is to fix if you don't love it. So, let's see if I can. And that's what I got. Let's see if you can see it. No. That looks too messy. Like it. I think I should have swirled it. I think while the blobs looked really cool being big, they were too big for this earring. Go ahead and swirl it. And I forgot to turn you guys back down so you can see me swirling it. I need to add some more gold because, well, actually, I think I could draw some down here. Hope you guys are having a great day. I say that every time. I hope you guys are having a great day. I hope you're being productive, but I really do. Every day is a great day to have a great day. That's what I believe. As corny as it may sound. And you're in control of how well your day goes. If you can't control something, let it go. If you can, do what you can to fix it. And if you can't fix it, after you've tried, let it go. So this one, I like a lot more. So it has a lot of the black, and you can see some of the silver and gold veining. I'm going to stick with that one. I also, in a weird way, like this one, but they don't really look like they go together. So, I don't know what I'm going to do with that. I don't know if I'm just going to have another match set, or if I'm going to go ahead and make 2 more earrings, and then make them to match the ones that I have. I don't know, but I appreciate you guys for crafting and chatting with me. I hope you guys enjoyed what I presented. If you guys have any ideas of something else you'd like to see, please let me know. If you don't have Fancy in your life, I'm not sure why not. But you need, go ahead, baby. But you need her in your life. You really, seriously. And if you have a figure phone, you seriously need this. That goes together so well. Okay. That's all I came to say. Oh, he's excited about something that they're watching. All right. So, I hope you guys love, again, what I presented. I hope you're having a great day. I hope you're being productive. Be patient with yourselves and each other, and give grace to yourselves and each other. Goodbye.